It has been an unprecedented year in politics leading up to Tuesday's midterm elections. We've seen an historic number of women and minorities running for office, and something else is new.
Until recently, scientists have steered clear of the political fray, but this year, over 450 candidates with STEM backgrounds, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, are seeking state and federal offices. Alex Wagner has more on why 2018 may be the year of the scientists.
I believe that if we're going to take a real approach at fixing our healthcare system and transforming our healthcare system, we need to have a nurse at the table.
Lauren Underwood, a nurse from Chicago.
I think that what you have right now is a perceived threat to just the basic concept of science and facts.
And Joseph Kopser, an aerospace engineer from Texas, are just two of the hundreds of scientists throwing their lab coats into the political ring for the first time.
Is it hard to make the jump from those sort of more analytic fields to politics?
I don't think so, and here's why. The whole reason why I got into aerospace engineering as a cadet at West Point, why I wanted to be an astronaut, was because I was inspired as a kid. There was nothing more American than the moon landings. So in terms of public service, it's just a natural extension. So the scientific method allows you to make hypotheses, and then where we can leverage ideas, we can test ideas, we can see what works, and that is what I intend to do.
Kopser served in the Army for 20 years, ran his own company, and decided this year was the year to run for Congress. In May, Kopser won his primary in Texas's 21st district.
There is a theory out there that scientists are kind of wonky, they're kind of lab rats, they're not persons.
Right.
You don't seem to fit that mold.
No, I am a blue jean, beer drinking kind of an engineer.
Are there more like you?
Of course there are. So that's the best part about stereotypes. If you lead with walking into a discussion, I'm an aerospace engineer, I'm here to solve the problem, it's not going to solve anybody's problem. But if you walk in and say, I too struggle with this, or I too understand that, and then start to have it kind of come out. That's my favorite part of any conversation, when someone would look at me and say, well, how'd you figure that out? You some kind of rocket scientist?
You're like, yeah, I am actually kind of.
This is what democracy looks like.
Underwood, at 26 years old, hopes to be the first African-American woman to represent Illinois' 14th congressional district.
This is a district that has gone Republican the last several election cycles. You are someone that comes from a non-traditional political background. Do you feel like this is an uphill battle?
No. I feel like this is what this moment is calling for. We have witnessed something that I feel like's never happened before. We see our policymakers trying to dismiss facts, and they are ignoring facts and not consulting experts. But at the end of the day, truth penetrates.
We need people with diverse backgrounds at the decision-making table. And
two former EPA chiefs, Christine Todd Whitman and Gina McCarthy, say that although the majority of scientists are running as Democrats, the need for scientists at the table isn't red or blue.
Personally, are they left or right? Yeah, of course, everyone has their own political opinion, but when they are doing their science advisory board, that's peer-reviewed. They care about their reputations. They are not going to jeopardize them by fiddling with the science.
Whitman, a Republican, served under President George W. Bush, and McCarthy, a Democrat, served under President Obama. They both believe scientists' voices are needed, particularly now.
What do you make of the fact that 400 scientists are running for office in the 2018 elections?
I think, there's clearly they see the same thing that we do, which is it's not just the science under attack, but it's the scientists themselves. Mm-hmm. And we need people in leadership positions in the public sector who can help make sure there's evidence and fact-based decisions being made.
Not everyone agrees.
Do you still think that climate change is a hoax?
Look, I think something's happening, something's changing, and it'll change back again.
In a recent interview with 60 Minutes, President Trump repeated his skepticism about climate change and questioned the motives of scientists in general.
Scientists also have a political agenda.
The war on science didn't start with the Trump administration, but it has gone from what felt like a war on science to an all-out war on facts. And that has acted as a catalyst.
Hello.
Shaughnessy Naughton is the president of 314 Action, a nonprofit political action committee helping STEM candidates learn the political ropes. This year, they received interest from over 7,500 scientists.
Whether it's cybersecurity or nuclear weapons, protecting the integrity of our elections, or something like climate change, why wouldn't we want scientists at the table helping to decide policy and as deciders and not just as advisors?
But there's risk in this approach.
Overwhelmingly, I think 75% of the country has a positive view of scientists being trustworthy. Are you concerned at all that that number diminishes once there is the introduction of politics, specifically in the realm of science?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't be worried about it because scientists are coming into the political realm and standing for office. We need more scientists. We need STEM education. And we need more people taking it up from all walks of life.
Scientists are not interested in becoming political leaders so that they can politicize the science.
Right.
They want to join so that the science cannot be politicized.
Alex Wagner, CBS News.
Very encouraging that so many scientists are in the races this year.
Yeah, and a great last point there. It's not about politicizing it, it's to avoid politicizing these things.
Yeah, science has gotten us far in this country and around the world.
It sure has.